All right, fine, folks. Welcome back to Introduction to R. This is one of the topics. Today is one of the important days in beginning of R because we have up till now captured how we can install R and R Studio on our platforms. And today we'll be covering basics of beginnings of coding in R, which will give you a much deeper idea into how we can begin to analyze the data, and we can use the language. And trust me, if you learn this language, it can be one of the most beautiful languages that you can learn, in accompaniment with Python and some of the other languages that are available in the market. This language in itself is one of the most beautiful languages and is almost a must have in any data analyst's toolbox. um, to talk about R, previously we have, as I said, we have covered introduction to R and R Studio, and we have also covered installation of the two platforms. Today we are going to cover objects in R, types of data, structures of data, and also the assignment operation and the differences between between the two assignment operators that we have in R. Moving to what is R. R is a statistical language that lets you analyze data, build models, and create all kinds of dashboards. Why we need R is because it is probably one of the most easiest language to use. It has loads of packages. It has a lot of good open source platform in as a language. Like, it is open source, so it is very easy to use and has a lot of community website help that it has. There's a huge platform called CRAN, Comprehensive R Archive Network, which is basically all of your packages, libraries, and stuff that you can think of in R are all provided on one single platform, which is kind of the most amazing thing that the senior folks who created this language have done, which is amazing. Thanks to Ross Iaka, Robert Gentleman, who basically created this beautiful language to teach statistics at the University of Auckland, and then it was popularized by Hadley Wickham by his amazing books. He has created some of the most amazing books in the market on R, how to use it in data analysis, how to use it in data science, and an advanced version of the book is also available, which basically talks about the language in much depth. uh, Objects in R. So what is basically R is that everything that can be assigned in a value in R is kind of an object. It can be of various types. You don't really need to learn anything right now. We will be going through this in much depth. However, having said that, there are various types. For example, heterogeneous versus homogeneous. There is scalar versus vector. There are lists, arrays, and data frames, and then there are tables. Objects can also be thought of being the simplest atomic types in R. So now let's directly jump into coding in R. Yay! So this is what a sample R Studio window looks like. This is a script platform where we'll be creating all of our scripts uh, over here. This is a terminal and a console. Our console is basically the place where you will be able to see all of your various information related to R. And then this is the side window, which you can utilize to see how many variables are currently assigned a value. You can clear it by using this. It will ask you to confirm to remove objects, which you can press, and then you can remove all of your values. This gives you history, connections if you want to build any connections to ODBC or to Spark data warehouses. I'll press cancel for now. We'll be going through this in much depth in later topics. If you want to render a website, by using Quarto or YAML or R Shiny, then you can utilize the this window as well for build. And then if you want to go through any tutorials or any specific packages in much depth, for example, the packages that we'll be using, for example, like tidyverse or dplayer or player or ggplot2, all of those you can go through by clicking the install learner package over here. You can go through the tutorials by yourself as well. I have put a dark package, like a dark theme for my R, specifically for this, so that I can code well by using appear by going to tools, options, and then appearance. Appearance, you can put a sky, and you can basically what you can basically do is, um, I'll just put it as zoom to 125% just so that you can basically see better. And editor theme, you can basically put a clouds midnight, so it will make everything bigger for you. I think you'll be able to see in much better format over here. So right now, what I have done is the first line says that x is equal to 10. This is basically an assignment operator where I'm assigning the value of 10 to x. If I run this, what will happen in the console, if you are able to see, is that x equal to 10 has been written in the console. I can type in the console as well, or I can run this fourth line. If I run this fourth line, what will happen is that I was able to see a value of 10 in assigned be like assigned into x, and the 1, which is the first element of the list, and then only element of the list for now, and then 10. We can also see a is equal to 10, b is equal to hello, and c equal to true. We see the various types. For example, type of a is right now double, which is how like a simple number is stored in R. Type of b is character, and type of c is logical. um, we could also have seen the various structures of uh, A, B, and C. The structure of A, if you are able to see, it is saying it as number and it is saying 10. So it is basically telling you that the A value is a number, numeric format, and has currently a value of 10. If I would have wanted to see a value of B, what I would have given as, see, it is saying me as that it is a character, and right now it is storing a value of hello. And finally, C, it will show me as a logical, and currently it has a value of true. Our objects are completely mutable, so you can change them as soon as you change them. For example, I would have typed false here. As soon as I change it, the structure of C will become logi and false. So that is the difference that you can notice here. I can also attribute nums. I can store numbers together. So basically, what I can do is, uh, let me just store it as nums c. I can store it as nums n equal to 1 c of 1, 2, and 3. Nums n will basically, if I run this of structure of n now, sorry, my bad, because I should have run this instead. So now it stores a number of 1, 2, 3, which is basically the index, first element to third element. There are total three elements here. Store the value of 1, 2, and 3. Num_c, if I run num_c, right now it doesn't have any value, so that is why it's giving me an error. But if I run this now, see, it will store my nums in a alphabetical format. So that is why it is giving me a character of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, all enclosed in quotes. Character of C will again be the same thing. And now if I want to write a type of nums n, it is giving me a double, but for num C, can you guess what it will give me? You are right, it will give me a character. So if I go to now bools, I have created a list of bools here: true, false, false. And if I want to visualize it, bools, uh, it gives me in the console true, false, false. And if I want to see the structure of bools, it kind of looks like logical one, two, three, true, false, false is what it stores. Now there is one important detail here that is important. That is type conversion. Type conversion looks in R something like this, where you can basically store. If you have stored a list of Boolean values in R, what you can do is you can force R to store it as number instead of booleans. So you don't really need to store booleans only. You can store it as numbers, and as soon as you type coerce it and assign it to D, can you guess what will happen? You're probably right. What will happen is that it will store it. I hadn't create. See, it has created a numbers. Sorry, it should have stored a value of bool, and so that is why it gives bools. Bools. See, it should have, it, as we had previously determined, it should have stored a value of 1, 0, and 0, because 1 gets a value of true, false gets a false gets a value of 0, so it stores 1, 0, 0. However, uh, if I wanted to store it as character, then it will give me true, false, false, all encapsulated by quotes. You don't really need to know all of this right now. Trust me, you don't need to know all of this right now. We'll be going through this in subsequent videos, much, much more in detail. Um, a sample data frame as attributed to by df, it is created by a function called data.frame. It has two values, a and b. Um, a important thing to note here is that whenever you create a function from data or dot frame, a and b become the columns and not the rows. So if I create this df right now, um, and I want to visualize it, then df stores a value of a has 1 2 3 and b has 4 5 6. And if we want to visualize what the type of data in df is it's a list, and structure is data dot frame, which is telling you it's a data frame. Three observations of two variables, a and b, num and num. It has a has 1 2 and 3, and b has 4 5 and 6. Again, don't need to remember everything. Much detailed videos are coming, trust me, especially on data frames, because data frames comprise the entirety of R. Any important analysis that you want to do in R is done in the form of tables and in data frames. So that is something that we will be covering much in detail. You don't absolutely need to worry about what a data frame is at this moment. But yeah, so that is it for this particular video. um, we As I said, we will be covering in the next videos. We'll be slowing down. Don't worry about the abstract nature of the video till now. uh, Trust me, we'll be going much in detail in subsequent videos. We'll be deeply understanding the various atomic data types, numbers, text, and logical values, and it will make sense for you as we keep building. Thank you if you're seeing this video. Thank you, and happy practicing.